Hey, you two. He's the man with a plan and a counterfeit dollar in his hand. He's Mr. Know It All. Hey, people, how rainy puts? Mocha Drop and Alfreda Gross. What's going on? Marissa Chateau. I gotta put my microphone back. I was positioning so I can start yelling, screaming at Jay Wilson, but the nigga wouldn't let me on. I came into his chat as usual. I reposted my comments several times. And then he finally broke down and opened the chat, let me on his StreamYard. I said, and he blocked me. I ain't deal with that. I ain't gonna deal with that. I said, but then he blocked me. I said, girl, the nigga don't want to be confronted by me for some reason. People, how y'all doing? Let me say hello. Happy Halloween, people. Happy Halloween. Did y'all hear Miss Wilson say that she put her black mustache in again for the holiday, for the costume, for Halloween, nigga? That would tell you, Jay Wilson, that you look like a clown and like somebody dressed up for Halloween the whole time you were coming on here with gray hair one day, black hair the next day, black hair the next day, gray hair the next day, girl. And now you finally recognize this is something more suitable or appropriate for Halloween. Did y'all see him on there yesterday? This little outfit, I had this outfit, but they had them lace-up sandals. You know, whenever they showed these I guess it's supposed to be Julius Caesar or somebody. Is this the same one that was talking about my Julius Caesar bust? Anyway, so now she's dressed up like Julius Caesar. She said, I didn't put them little sandals on. I didn't put them sandals on. Why did you put the entire outfit on, Jay Wilson, including the headband, girl, and the undergarments, and yet you still wouldn't put them sandals on because the sandals expose the foots, right? And the sandals require you lacing them up. So you will be sitting up there with 3 inches of foot on the back of the sandal and 3 inches in front of the sandal, right? Because you could not manage to get them swollen up feet in them damn sandals. Now, if you push them forward and lace them tight, what you would have then is a swollen up foot because you will be cutting off the circulation. Those feet of yours got to be handled a certain way. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. That is not what I'm here to talk about. I don't understand, ladies, why y'all over there taking relationship advice from no goddamn Jay Wilson, the personification of a closet queen. I've heard through the years people complain they don't like these down low people going out there having sex with men on the slide, right? Bringing them all kinds of various diseases and all this kind of shit, right? These people who are fake people who get you impregnated and then discover they want to come out the closet. All these kind of down low men, right? Who you strongly suspect is Carol. If Jay Wilson was any kind of bisexual, that's exactly what he would be. He would be a down low nigga, right? It took him 50 years to come and confess to the rest of the world. How long would it take for him to confess to a woman he'd been sleeping with? Although I don't know how he would. I mean, I guess they laid in the same bed or whatever. I can't figure out everything. But the point is, Jay Wilson is the very kind of man you don't want. A confused sissy, right? But he's got all the advice. Now he's over there talking about to this woman. What's the woman's name? Tracy or something like that. All about her relationship. And she saying on YouTube. Ain't nobody talking about that woman's relationship but you, Jay Wilson. I had never even heard of Miss Tracy. It's you, nigga. You keep telling people how they not supposed to bring nothing on YouTube, right? But yet you're the one talking about their stories and their lives, and you're the one who gives voice to their difficulty in their lives, girl. Now the advice is the same thing every time, ladies. It's always that you should leave your man. That's it. There is no other relation. It's always the same thing. He always wants to speak negatively about your relationship. Yet he is a person who's never been able to have a relationship, neither with male nor female. Now, if the church would have held on to that ass just a little bit more, they would have forced him into a marriage, right? Because he's such a phony and pretentious asshole. If anybody had ever hired him in any part of ministry, he would have attempted to go and get himself a beard or a wife for the sake of the church, right? So thank God that didn't happen for some poor woman who'll be stuck with this man who really only has a desire to be fucked. Anyway. Hi, people. Ruining my Halloween. I was hoping the bitch would come on and say something stupid. See, y'all keep wondering how he always get all this content out of Jay Wilson. It's easy, baby. Anytime there's no content, because I don't just go picking on people and fucking with people. They all having their own beefs and their own conversations and their own difficulties between each other. I don't just go jumping in their fights. No, honey, but I can always depend on that Jay Wilson. The moment you turn the goddamn thing on, damn, he just offended me. Oh, fuck. There's always content. Mr. Content. He's Mr. Content. He says something stupid every day. I don't know why these women over there listening to this fool telling them about their relationships, girl. Why isn't Mark living there? You go back and forth saying, "Oh, I've been in a relationship for 5 years. I've been in a relationship." Nobody lives. No, they don't live together. Just a boyfriend across town, right? I've been in a relationship for 5 years. I've been, girl. Then he'll say, "I'm the person that I'm with. Me and the person that I'm with." So now you change it up. So it's not Mark. Are you trying to confuse the people? That there's someone different in the picture now, Jay Wilson? Why can't you be honest about anything, girl? And you have no right to be speaking on these heterosexual people's relationships. I remember when I put in one line in my memoir that my mother had married a man who turned out to be an abusive man. You said, "Oh, he beat your shit out your mama. He slapped your mama like a whore." See, if you think that being with an abusive man is such an egregious thing, Jay Wilson, then why would you find it so amusing that my mother had encountered an abusive man 60 years ago, nigga? That was amusing to you, right? Point is, you don't know nothing about no relationship between a man. When a man loves a woman, sleep out in the rain. But when this man loves a woman, he give her all. See, that's what he always desires. Inside of Jay Wilson is a woman, right? This is the role. That's why he called Mark, when he said the dog is at Mark's house, or I assume the person is Mark. Oh, he going over daddy's house. So if that's Mark is daddy, then that makes you mama, right? Jay Wilson wants to be loved the way a woman is loved by her man, right? If I was your woman and you was my man, you'd have no other woman. You'd be weak as a lamb. If you had the strength to walk out that door, my heart would overrule my sense, and I come running back for more. If I was a woman, and you was my man. Jay Wilson. Mark doesn't love you like you are his woman because Mark doesn't really know you. He knows this ridiculous character you present on YouTube, and he knows how you act when you go to the movies. I mean, going to a movie, you arrived at the movie, since you both have, I got a car, I got 2 cars, I got 2. Well, when you arrive with your 2 cars and he drives with his car, do you meet out in front and then you order the popcorn, right? And then you go and you sit down and you shut the fuck up. So if your only date with this man, for you say 5 years, I doubt it's been that damn long, girl. It's more like 3 years that you've been dating this person, or this person has been putting up with you. Let me see. Or this man, and only conversation you're having, only dates you're having are at movie theaters and you going to the amusement park. I want the amusement park. Wee! Wee! Look at me! Wee! That's your dating. Then you don't even know him. Right? I'm just saying, honey. A movie theater is a quiet place. So what was she on there saying? I need a little taste. Let me see. Girl, it's hard to redball this fool. Because her voice is so annoying.
Do it again. You weren't gonna do it again. And Miss Tracy, the man was up in the house again. And this is why people don't bother you, not Miss Tracy, because you the type of person that you'll be trying to help them get away from Carlos. And
how you gonna help somebody getting away from Carlos, nigga? The fuck you know about Carlos? You always talking about you trying to help somebody and you worried about Rico. I'm worried about you. Oh, I'm worried. You ain't worried about shit, nigga. You're trying to find a way to stay online for 2 fucking hours, girl. God blocked the first attempt and then he came back 10 minutes later. Oh, let's try this again. Let's try this again and again and again.
Oh, not stabbed, but you get starved by Carlos. And then you be back with Carlos again, and then you be cussing folk out because they touched Carlos and got starved by him. But you let that thing get you back. Okay, you let that hook you back on in. Oh my God, Miss Tracy, y'all, you do too much.
Girl, how you gonna holler somebody else about their goddamn husband or their boyfriend or they live in or the nigga who's beating their ass? What the fuck you know about it, right? Girl, she don't owe your punk ass nothing. So the woman comes on to his channel, right? And he continues to lecture her about how she's supposed to leave her no good husband, her no good man, right? Jay Wilson, when were you married again? Tell me. In all of these degrees you have, was any of those degrees in family counseling? What are your qualifications for giving people advice? Relationship advice. Do you think you're going to step into the shoes of Kevin Samuels? Is that it? You're going to come on here and holler at these women and tell them about what they're supposed to do and what they're not supposed to do? Right, Jay Wilson? Is that what this is? So I can't imagine why somebody would tell you shit about their relationship. And the thing is, even when somebody mentioned that they're going through or whatever, usually on somebody's channel, a bunch of women talking, you always wiggle your black ass in there long enough to get their personal information and start running your goddamn mouth about it and then talking about how you ain't able to bring it on YouTube. You brought it on YouTube. Did she bring it to you, nigga? She brought it on YouTube. Are people allowed to talk and say whatever the fuck they want to say? Nigga. Right? But the only one seems to keep talking about people's personal relationships is you. You're talking about their relationships more than they are, girl. Right? Why don't you work on, Jay Wilson, going to the next level? That's what I want to see. I want to see that bike. Woo! When are you going to pop the question, girl? You claim now that you're taking a 3-year boyfriend and turn that into your 5-year relationship. I want to know, when are you going to pop the question, girl? Because trust me, whenever you pop the question, Mark is going to start popping you in your goddamn mouth, right? Because a man is not going to deal with that shit. So you don't know about the interpersonal relationships that go on between males and females, because males are a dominant. They tend to dominate, and when they're the dominant species, right? They overpower a woman. So when they're put in relationships, in real relationships where you live together and share the same bed and the same refrigerator, nigga, then some of these characteristics come out, right? Some of these characteristics come out between a man and a woman. That's why a lot of these men become abusive to women, right? A lot of times it's because the woman can outthink and outtalk him. So his only recourse then is to attack her. But since you know absolutely nothing about it, girl, why are you talking about it? You see? Because remember when that dude over there, ZX, doxed him and came back and said that he had been married and he was abusive to the woman, put the woman out the house and all this kind of stuff. It was so believable to me, Jay Wilson, because I believe that if you were in a heterosexual relationship, you would indeed be an abuser? I believe you would. I believe you would hit somebody if they couldn't hit you back. I believe that. I also believe that if you were involved in a serious relationship with a male who you lived together and shared the same bed, refrigerator, and toilet with, I believe that man would be beating the shit out of you, right? Because you're one of them nagging kind of bitches, girl, who can't shut your goddamn mouth. So you are scared to go into a relationship with a man because you know he gonna stay with his boot up your ass. And you have no interest in a woman because you are a homosexual, although you still have a very big hard time saying that you are gay. You are gay and you are a homosexual, right? You have to go all the way down to some shit they invented a couple years ago, girl. I'm saying gender loving. I'm saying, Miss Thing, you are as gay as a Christmas turkey, girl. You came on here talking about you are bisexual. When that gonna kick in? When is it gonna kick in the relationship? You mean because you comment tidy on them hard titties, that makes you a bisexual? A married woman, where you sitting at the table with her and her husband, girl, and you think that we're supposed to buy that you are a bisexual because you comment on Heidi's hard titties? And anybody who has any kind of attraction at all would not find those big plates in her chest to be beautiful. You don't even know what the fuck to say. What y'all think? How y'all doing today? How y'all doing today? Someday he'll come along, the man I love, and he'll be big and strong, the man I love. That's just an old favorite, just popped in my head. Who's taking relationship advice from that queen, girl? A queen that come out of the closet at 50 years old, child. And he's so passionate about it, girl. Like he really knows all the answers, child. I came on there and I kept trying to get on. He wouldn't let me on. I don't wonder why. He won't let me on.
You that type of friend that I'm like, okay, well, girl, when you get tired, go to the women's shelter. Okay, because you'll get killed.
Is there something funny on that? Is there something funny in that about a woman having to go to a women's shelter to protect herself from closet queens like you? Because you would beat a woman, Jay Wilson. You would beat her because in your frustration, right? Being who you are and trying to pretend to be somebody that you're not. That would frustrate the shit out of you, right? And you would become an abuser. So like I was saying about this boy GX, when he did that, when he said those things, I found it very easy to believe, easily, that you had a wife and that you had beaten her and terrorizing her and you was in jail and prison for fucking with her, all this kind of shit. I said, that's very believable. So this is the same kind of phony character you would encounter, right? And anytime you find a lot of these men who are beating on women because they're sexually frustrated themselves, then that's not the case with all men. We know that they have a host of issues that makes them feel powerless in the world and only strong in their house with their woman. Now, I can get testimony about abusive people because of the relationships. And my mom, I mean, I was a little kid, but you're traumatized by that stuff. You remember what a monster is. I wonder if that's why I love the word monster so much, right? Because people say I came on here calling people monsters. I said, oh no, I wrote Meth Monster something like 15, 16 years ago, girl. And it was a monster then. He got advice from his, what's the other girl name? MU, what's that mean? Misunderstood. He knows all about the drug struggle. He knows all about the struggle with men. He knows all about women's issues. He knows all about everything. And what's his answer? Oh, I don't watch. I don't watch. I don't watch this one, and I don't watch that one, and I don't watch this. I don't read that. I don't read this. I don't have anything to do with it. Then why are you talking about it, girl? If you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, why are you talking about it, Jay Wilson? You're never going to find me on here trying to give people relationship advice particularly heterosexual people, a relationship between a male and a female. I'm not going to do that, right? Because I am a homosexual. I have lived my life as a homosexual, but guess what? I'm not even going to come in and tell people about their homosexual relationships. Why? Because my name is Timothy Blaine. My name is not the whole world of gay. I don't know everything about the gay. I don't know everything about that him. I don't know everything about him. I don't know everything about her. I don't know anything about these people, right? And you don't even know what the fuck love. You need to know what love is. Someone's got to show you. Ain't nobody gonna love you, Jay Wilson. Ain't nobody ever loved you. That's why you were running your ass around San Francisco talking about your dude, girl, some nigga you just met. It's supposed to be ass. That's my dude. That's my dude. Stupid ass, retarded motherfucker. And then you still have not, at 55 years old, you have still not managed to share a household with anyone. Nobody would live with you. We ain't even gonna bring in the female because that was all a lie. No man will live with you. And what you fear more than anything, or you should fear, is the alpha male. The alpha male. The one who wants to have a voice his own damn self and don't want to hear your goddamn whiny ass mouth all the time, girl. Because it's oops, upside the head. Get it on upside the head. Here we go. Here we go. You don't want that kind of man, child. You want somebody like Mark, who barely talks, child. Somebody real passive, and you can't even live with him. And that boy ain't stupid. He been in a relationship before. Mm-hmm. You wanted you a bisexual man, a man that got a child and a wife. Did you break up that relationship, Jay Wilson? You have a lot of advice about people dating married men and all that kind of stuff. Yet you with somebody who was with a married. Mark is not that old. So how long ago was the relationship, girl? Did you step your funky ass in there and justify it, saying, "Well, she can't give him what I can give him. She can't give him what I can give him." Ooh, what can you give him, Jay Wilson? Advice? People are sick of your advice, Jay Wilson. Nobody wants to hear your goddamn advice, bitch. Mm-hmm. Hi, you guys. Y'all have a good Halloween. Y'all heard your boy. He said that he had to put the dark stuff in his beard for the Halloween costume, girl. So you just happen to have Halloween makeup in your cabinet, Jay Wilson, right? Are you even going to acknowledge that you have been putting the bang in your mustache and beard? Oh, that's not the bang. That's what they call it. The Beijing. The Beijing. Oh, 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 oh. You out there using the Beijing. You're right, nigga. It looks better on Halloween, girl. Nothing worse than some old fool with his jet black goddamn hair on his face. Grow that hair out in the back there with the Afro puff. And so we can really see how old your ass is, nigga. With your black beard. Black beard. You should have won his black beard the pirate, bitch. Mm-hmm. Hi, the Sparkle Covington. That's speaking up for you guys. Mm-hmm. You like that song, child? That lady sings the blues used to wear me out, honey. That Billie Holiday, baby. Mm-hmm. You can't make it through one of Jay Wilson's videos. Ain't nothing funny about him to me. Now he cracked me up talking about. Now you cracking me up talking about it. I tried to get on there, Morky Mom. He won't let me on. Child, trying to make it interesting for him. He knows it's gonna bring numbers to the channel, right? But he fears. He fears this pimping. No, oh no. He said, I said, okay, I promise. I'm gonna be nice. I promise. Like my promises to Jay Wilson actually means something, girl. Boom, boom. Jay Wilson. Girl. Don't fall for it, girl. Mm-mm. If I can get a word in edgewise, I could probably destroy your punk ass. Let me see. Pastor, he blocked you? Hudson J. Pastor blocked me when I kept asking why Tracy was taking advice about relationship from him. He blocked you? He blocked me today. Or at least he said it did, girl. How you gonna keep Blocking people because they ask you a simple questions, Jay Wilson. Because you lie so goddamn much. Everything's a fucking spin, girl, that you are afraid of asking a real question, girl. You only gonna go over there to people like Heidi Fly Monster. She got her nose so far up her ass because she just want to pay a man, honey. But as far as anybody asking you serious questions, Jay Wilson, about your character, because your character, frankly, it stinks. It is funky as hell. Make your funky P-Funk. Oof. Your funk is so funked up. We got a party on your P-Funk. Silly ass boy. Hi, Nicole Reloaded. Y'all go over there and check out Timothy Blaine on Amazon.com if y'all like to read. If y'all like, I think y'all enjoy that series. And even the series about here, Murder in the Beef Sector and Deadly Wager. Advice. You don't give somebody advice. Like that goddamn Kevin Samuels come over and give everybody advice about how fucked up they were and how fat they were and how they got to lose 100 pounds and how all this bullshit, girl. Is that what he gonna try to do? People taking relationship advice from Jay Wilson. He don't even know what a relationship is. He talking about he got a partner. A partner in the gay world is a marriage before we had marriage. You ain't married to nobody, nigga. You came on here 2 weeks after you met the boy talking about you had a partner, girl. You've never had a relationship with Jay Wilson, and you are incapable of having a relationship. You are. I'm sorry, honey. Soon as somebody move into that damn Texas track house you got, girl, you're going to be walking around talking about, this is my house. This is my house. I said one time, when a nigga about to go into foreclosure, I said, Jay Wilson, wouldn't it be a simple answer? This is when I first met her. I didn't know how much I would hate her later on. Why don't you just get a roommate? If you got all these rooms that are empty, the whole house is empty, just you sitting up in there trying to pay all these bills with no job. Why don't you just get a roommate? That would cut your mortgage in half. And you guys know what a mortgage probably is in Texas, in the suburbs, girl. It probably is $1,700. So you can cut it down to $600. Oh no, I ain't gonna have nobody here going in my refrigerator, walking around in my hip. I gotta hail. That's just the kind of character he would be, honey. There would be no peace. Talking about the black love. He told me that people, the black love was so strange in San Francisco that people couldn't believe it when they saw two black men together. Because we see every kind of men there is in San Francisco, nigga. Right? This is the hub of the homosexual experience, nigga. Ain't nothing special about you. Nobody in the restaurant turn around. Oh my God. Look at that black love coming in. Look at that black love. Everything's for free. Everything's for free. Oh, I love black. Nigga's delusion. He wants a daddy. No daddy wants him. That's the truth. He said Mark is the daddy, honey. When Mark is the daddy, it means Mark is trying to tear that ass up. But more than likely, he probably couldn't even reach Jay Wilson's ass. He got to use his head, honey. Get the balls, bitch. Mark is he's the strong, silent type. You couldn't help but be the silent type with this nigga. All he do is run his mouth, girl. Every time we see him, he driving in that car by himself. In that house by himself. Everything else by himself, girl. When are you in this relationship? When you go to the movies every 2 weeks, that's your relationship. And you think you're qualified now to give people a relationship who have actually had children together, who have lived in the same house, who have overcome many different snares and difficulties in a relationship, who have faced off the issue of cheating and all the stuff that goes along with the marriage. You have no experience at any of it. All you can do is tell these women to leave their husband. That's it. That's your advice. Same advice for everybody. A mess. A damn mess. Mm-hmm. The Bayang. No, he's using the Beijing. Shoe polish in your face. The Beijing. Don't you know, Jay Wilson, that only exposes When you start putting little hair pieces on top of your head and calling them airnails, make a joke out of it. No, you seriously went and gave somebody a couple $100 for this little piece of shit on your head, girl, that you couldn't even take a shower in, girl. Then you start dyeing this and you're dyeing your eyebrows, because I've noticed they're a different color as well, girl. You kind of buy these little blouses, make you look younger. Miss Thing, all that does is show us how insecure you are, Jay Wilson, and how you want to be young. You want to have that experience now, right? And YouTube is giving you a chance to actually have a voice, because no one has ever listened to you, Jay Wilson. You are a poor, pitiful, pathetic, I don't know, bookworm. I still haven't seen any evidence of the bookworm stuff. All I know is you keep saying you have all these degrees. You brought them up again today. Oh, I never said anything about my degrees. Hey, who ever said anything about a hair? I ain't never said. But somehow or other, the word house comes into every conversation, girl. The house and the degrees. We didn't know anything about your house or your degrees, nigga. The only way we know anything about it is because you keep talking about it. Got a house in Texas. Nigga, hooray, honey. Women, y'all know y'all got houses, honey. It ain't all that, girl. It's just another bill, honey. But who the fuck wants a family house in the suburbs of Texas, girl, by themselves? Nobody ever even in there, girl. He had to give up the business. He said he was a businessman because he said he had Airbnb. I got Airbnb. I got Airbnb. Girl, if I go to another town, I'm going downtown in that town, right? Because I want to see that city. I don't want to be way out in the middle of the goddamn suburbs, staying in a goddamn room in somebody else's house when they are still there. In other words, why not just get a hotel room? At least the people wouldn't be in my goddamn room. You just rented a room. So that business was a major disaster, Jay Wilson. You ain't make no money from that bullshit, girl. Ain't nobody coming to Texas, girl, to San Antonio and want to go and drive 2 hours out into the suburbs, girl, to rent a room in somebody else's house, girl, when they still there. Major faux. Now we want to know what happened to the you don't even brag about the goddamn grabbing Uber no more. What happened to that, girl? Because if you were getting money from Uber, you would still be doing it. So did Uber fire you as well, Jay Wilson? Right? What happened with Uber? You say you never I'm working, nigga. What happened at Uber? Why are you not still driving that cab? Because the good thing about Uber was you would be able to set your hours and go out, do a few hours here, do a few hours there, right? What happened there, Jay Wilson? We know you're supposed to be in a residency, but you can't hold a job to put in the hours required to actually be certified as no damn chaplain, right? So that's a wash. We've seen you go to the mall early in the morning with little baby shirts on and the clip-on ties. So we know you're looking for some kind of employment, right? So now we see that you're on YouTube 3 and 4 and 5, sometimes 5 times a day, girl. You can't let it go, but you won't admit to us that this is your only source of income. You want to come on here talking about how much coin you're getting. I'm getting money from it. I'm gonna get a coin. I'm gonna get my commercial. I'm gonna get like the other 2 million people on YouTube are not putting their commercials in, girl. Commercial. I mean, we don't make that big a deal out of it, Jay Wilson. We don't count every fucking nickel we get across YouTube, girl. It's just something. It's just part of the program. Everybody has commercials, girl. What are you bragging about? What is there to brag about, Jay Wilson? It only shows us that the only thing you can do after 5 degrees and 55 years of living is get on YouTube and gossip like a little bitch. That's all you can do. You're not going to stop because you have no other viable source of income, right? I mean, you can only get so much from taking trips to Vegas in order to rip them off, or however you are manipulating these trips you're going to take. You say you're going about going on a cruise now. So however you're manipulating that to get money out of it, that can only bring you so much, right? It's always little bits and pieces to put together so you're ready for bill day, right? Correct. And we've seen you on here, girl. One time you brought up a suitcase on with all your bills in it. And you should put all your bills in the camera, like these people are somehow obligated to pay your bills for you. And then you got the nerves every time. I don't need no money. I don't need that money. It was just a joke. It was just a joke. Yet you accepted the money. And you put your cash up in the middle of it, girl. You're a pitiful and pathetic person, Jay Wilson. That's why you chose a female dog, because deep on the inside, you's a woman. If I was your woman. And Mark is daddy. Okay, global explorer, see what you say. I understand your dislike for Jay Wilson, but why disrespect those who attain higher education? And no, baby, you should cheer that. Why do we tear down our own people? Global explorer. Let me read that again slowly, girl. I assume that you're a woman. I can understand your dislike for Jay Wilson, but why disrespect those who attain higher education and degree? Baby, I don't care anything about you getting a degree. I'm talking about Jay Wilson. Jay Wilson, not you. You can't take this stuff. You think every time I say something about a fat person that we're all supposed to take that personally? He talking about me. He talking about me. No, girl, I'm talking about Jay Wilson. When I talk about a worthless piece of shit he was, he made it his business to continually disrespect me, and I have not come to terms with it. I just can't accept that. Not from a person like that. This is the kind of person who traditionally I would beat the shit out of, right? Or they would never even think of coming at me or saying the kinds of things he has said about me and to me. I've never encountered that, right? So dealing with this thing on YouTube or the social media, I have to just deal with what's in front of me. He's not worth suing because he don't own shit, right? But as long as he disrespects me, and he already has, oh, I didn't say nothing about you this week. I didn't say nothing about you this nigga. When you start climbing your ass into my personal finance, when you start insulting my 80-year-old mother, nigga, girl, there's no end to that. I'll do whatever the fuck I want to do to you. If I saw you, if I call you, walk up behind you, I might take my dick out and pee on your feet, nigga. Right? That's what happens when you disrespect people. So no, global explorer, I do not criticize others. I think it's wonderful you have a higher education. I think it's fabulous, honey. And particularly if you have used it to your benefit. I'm not criticizing nobody else. I think it's wonderful to get an education, honey. Right? But this fool, he wants to sit. I mentioned casually that what I did when I was still a person who had ambitions and goals, that I worked as an interior designer. That was my dream, my goal. She pulled her penis out and started pissing all over every accomplishment, every dream I ever had. She gonna piss. Where are your degrees? Where are your degrees? She's the one who makes an issue of degrees. Why would I need a degree to be an interior decorator? It's something I've always done, girl. She's criticized my writing because she read a two-page review on one of my best books, and at the very end, the person who is a professional editor said he could have used a better editor. And this is what he took out. He could have used a better editor. Out of 2 pages, a self-published writer, never gets a 2-page review from a professional reviewer. In fact, a person who put me on the cover of a magazine, right? Not only did Jay Wilson not read the book, all he even got from the goddamn review. Oh, he could have used a better editor. Well, we can all use a better editor, honey. You gonna pay for it, right? He's the one. He is the one who he think I need to get you. Where's your portfolio? Where's your portfolio, bitch? Don't worry about my goddamn portfolio. Don't worry about my house. Don't worry about how I wipe my ass from the front to the back or the back to the front. It's not your goddamn business, you stupid, retarded, bald head bitch. So I'm going to disrespect you any goddamn way I want to, right? Because I can't accept that you have talked to me the way you have talked to me, punk. And because you do it to other people every single day, people you feel like you can pick on, nigga. I don't like bullies. I've always said that, girl. Since I was a little pickaninny, I've never liked bullies, girl. And most of the fights that I had in my life is because someone was picking on somebody else. I don't like it. Hey, Charles Dawson. How you doing? Honey, I pissed all over that motherfucker. I'd piss on his ass, girl. I wouldn't give a fuck about him. He don't understand what respect is, right? So he think he can just come in here and just disrespect you. He talked about my prison life over and over and over and over again. And I said, what the fuck do you know about my prison life? What do you think you know? What do you know about my drug? You put it in the book. You put it in the book. Nigga, you never read the book. You never read anything. So for a person supposed to be a good doctor and a professor and a pastor and a chaplain, girl, you would think you would read a goddamn book. Ain't about 145 pages, girl, just for ammunition, if nothing else. But you never read shit. You just haven't running your goddamn. Oh, I heard. I don't know, but I heard. I heard. You heard shit. You're coming on here and you're just making this commentary of yours, girl, on the backs of other people, bitch. And you, every once in a while, you're going to encounter someone like me who will not get off that ass. It's the simple truth. I'm sorry. It is a fact of life. Let me see what my friend Charles Dawson say. Uh-huh. There you go. If he's smart, Jay Wilson should keep his mouth closed about where he is or isn't working. They already know that dude from Mexico posted it. Exactly who he worked for, but he don't work for him. He's supposed to be in a residency program. But in order to be in a residency program, you have to work somewhere. So when they called and got the nigga fired, and which the one who got him fired, he on there talking to him again, right? Why? I'm gonna get a coin from it. Mm-hmm. He should know by now that the beef sector investigators will call and track his job location. I think that boy's a sociopath and he don't know or understand or feel nothing, honey. I would think because he went DEF CON. I mean, I don't want to use that language because of that Kanye mess. But he went totally silent after that boy GX had all those people calling his job and got him fired. Live online, right? He went totally silent about it. Oh, I lost train of thought. Hold on. It's coming back. I feel it coming. I feel that train coming. It's coming around the bend. Anyway. So the other guy, the one over there in Mexico somewhere, posted what agency he worked for, what temporary agency he worked for, right? And he was able to say, well, he still does have a job. He still does have a job. It says right here, and he showed the paperwork of the residency, but it told the company name, right? And what program he was still in. He's still in a residency program, right? But part of this program is that he has to have a certain amount of hours, right? In order to actually gain his residency. He ain't got, how you gonna have a residency somewhere if you ain't got no job, right? He's working for a temp agency. He lied to us. He came on and said that he had procured a job that paid him starting $85,000 a year. He said that 4 months later that he was now making $130,000 a year from that job, yet he was still driving the Uber cab, which paid him an additional $40,000 a year. And he said he made $2,000 to $3,000 a month on YouTube. Now, why was all that necessary when he's the one that said, why you said you brought it to YouTube? You brought it to YouTube. Who in the hell is telling people how much money they make on YouTube, girl? And then this is the one say you can't bring nothing to YouTube. I never put my business on here. I never put, girl, we know from the day he was born, and that poor pitiful, he was born by the river, little trailer camp, Lord, just like that river he been running ever since. If you listen to her long enough, girl, you'll get the full story. But you have to unwrap it around all the lies and all the deceit, right? Because has anybody heard since Jay Wilson we saw him get fired? Has anybody seen him looking for a job or not being present? Because he starts at 6 o'clock in the morning on here. 6, he's on here at noon, he's on here in the evening. He ain't working nowhere, and he has no plan to work nowhere. You know why? You know why we know that? First of all, he went and got a dog. You know, a people, generally speaking, when they are working full time or all these hours he claims he has, girl, they won't get the animal. A lot of times they'll wait until they retire or they're not working anymore. Then they'll get a pet, right? We not saying we know people who have jobs have dogs, right? But he always criticized me for having a dog, right? You get with that dog. That's all you got is that dog. A month later, oh, I got a dog. I got a dog. Girl, you were never intended to return to work, right? You're on here night and day. You make videos 3, 4, 5, sometimes 5 times a day, right? You when you say you're leaving the house, you say you're leaving the house to walk the dog, take the dog to the park, and all this kind of shit, right? Or you'll say, I'm going out to the gym. The gym is the big thing. I'm going to the gym. I'm going to the gym. Nigga, shouldn't you be going to work? I ain't gonna tell my business. We'll find out. You ain't got to tell it because you can't shut up. Mm-hmm. Yes, so he should. You would think that he would know that Charles Dawson. They already have his information. He's over there playing with ZX again. If he did it, baby, if you think you know him now, wait until tonight, girl. He'll be doxing and then he'll be long gone. If he did it the first time, honey, when someone shows you who they are the first time, believe them. He's over there playing with ZX again. He got ZX over there in his channel talking about the Bible. Like he ain't gonna get mad at, he'll be mad at him by next week, right? Right? Because they're both assholes. And so he thinks that ZX is not gonna do the same thing to him again that he did to him before. Hasn't he already showed you? He can't think past, I'm gonna get a coin from it. I'm gonna get a now he's scared of this boy because he knows if he fires him again, or if he says anything in any way off color to ZX, which is very easy to do. He knows the man hates homosexuals. He knows the man is an ardent homophobe, girl. How long is that going to take? Right? And then he'll be calling again, Jay Wilson. But you know what? This time they don't have just the information of the hospital, because when you had the information of the hospital, somebody just happened to walk by and see you and then tell the appropriate people, I know where he works. And then they called, girl. It all took place in 2 days and your ass was on the curb, right? But now they actually know the agency you work for the temporary agency, which apparently doesn't call you very much. So I don't know how much need there is for chaplains in San Antonio. Anyway, now they had that information, girl. Whatever this online school you applied to or whatever, you're supposed to be getting this certification from. You say you are. How can you be a resident if you're not someone? When I go to the hospital, they have resident doctors there. If I go to my therapist, they have residents, people doing their residencies there, a temporary time where they work there until they complete their education, right? But he ain't got no job, and ZX gonna make sure he don't have no job. He's already showed you he don't care, and yet he still plays with him. Why does he play with him? Because he's going to get a coin from it. I'm getting a coin. I'm going to put my Mercials in. I'm going to see where I can put my Mercials. Idiot. Let me see what y'all say. Hold on a minute. Yeah, everything he said is directed at Jay Wilson. That's right. You should have came over here disrespecting me, honey. Mm-mm. You see how I'm bothering nobody? Do I get credit for not bothering other people? I was hoping the nigga said something stupid. Although I can always depend on it, girl, and it don't take that long. Okay, I'm a liar, huh? Okay, I'm a liar.
Messing with somebody like Tracy.
Let's go ahead a little bit. Let's see if you say anything else stupid, controversial. Let's see. So now the woman is on there.
So I mean, just because you go into the hearing, that don't mean you gotta be with him. Y'all don't. It's just like giving that man. It's just the access of him taking your car, and then he's coming back to your.
What you know about her car and her household and her man who putting it in her? What do you know about Jay Wilson? How you? Oh, God damn it. Hold on, man. Y'all see how he gets me excited, girl.
And you let him back in, and we done seen all of this stuff that
you ain't seen shit, punk. Girl, shut up. Were you there when he was bringing her flowers when they first met? I love you, baby. I love you. Do you know anything about their relationship, Jay Wilson? Who in the hell are you going to determine who is going to break up? So I came into his thing there. I said, as long as there's no physical abuse. Okay, so now he's saying, oh, she talked to me behind the scenes. Y'all don't know. Y'all don't know. She called me behind the scenes. Y'all don't know what happened behind. If it's behind the scenes, nigga, shouldn't it stay there? How in the hell did behind the scenes get to be front and center on your program, girl? Right? So I said, well, it's probably some kind of abuse. You don't know shit, Jay Wilson, right? Oh no, it had nothing to do with abuse. It ain't nothing to do with abuse. You don't know. But you do know about that woman's household. Maybe the woman was just venting one day, right? And you got your nerve to bringing it to YouTube. Bring it, nigga. We bring whatever we want to bring to YouTube. It's called YouTube. You, the everyday man, everyday woman, honey. Whatever you want to bring to your channel, you can bring it. We don't expect bald-headed sissies to come over here talking about, girl, I saw it on YouTube. I saw it on YouTube. Anyway, so yes, you're right. All my anger and frustration is directed at Jay Wilson. Everything about him bugs the shit out of me, girl. It does. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. You have to listen to Jay Wilson. That's it. Tales of a High Girl. You would have to listen to him, Marie B, to know what I'm talking about. Okay. High education is great, yet this man hasn't had a career in the field. He obtained higher education. He should be coming up on retirement, now hustling cash apps. I mean, you would think, come on, man. I can understand you got out of college. You're a black man. You know, maybe you're having a hard time. You don't have the right connections, right? You've been discriminated against, right? So you go back and you say, well, they won't be able to discriminate against me if I have a higher education. So you go back and you get a second degree, right? Now you're even more armed, right? And you go in and you apply for these jobs, and nobody wants you because the first degree has absolutely nothing to do with the second degree, right? These are mostly church degrees, right? And so it's so 2 degrees. I can say, well, I'm in all this debt because everybody says they're in debt when they come out of school, right? All black people, at least. So you're in debt now for getting 2 degrees. So what do? Okay, now I'm going to go back. I'm going to get another degree. So now you got 3 degrees, right? And then you say, okay, now I'm going to really have myself a career. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to conquer the world. I'm going to move to New York City. I'm going to move to Los Angeles. I'm going to make myself somebody. I'm going to be somebody. I'm going to make a life for myself. You got 3 degrees now. You're in tremendous debt, student loan debt, right? What do? You go out, I'm going to get a 4th degree. Now, why are you getting degrees now, Jay Wilson? Is it just to get the student loans? Some people don't understand the student loan thing, right? When I was working at the Castro Country Club, which is a volunteer place for people in recovery, there were several people in there. They got clean and they went on pursuing education, right? And they would get these checks from their student loans, right? They apply for these student loans, but not only would they get a check to pay for their books, they would also get money enough to pay for their apartments. And I live in San Francisco, baby. So apartments aren't cheap, right? So they would give you housing allowance, food allowance, book allowance, student loan. He got 3 degrees now. So what does he do? 3 degrees now. He still can't get a job. He's still bragging about being a flying waiter back in his 20s, right? That's the best job he's ever had. That's the only one he talks about, right? Now he got 3 degrees. What did he do? Oh, maybe 1 more degree. And so he go back and get another degree. Now he got 4 degrees. We assume he says he got 4 degrees. He got papers way up on high where nobody can see him, girl. And we keep telling him to bring him down. Let's discuss him, girl. Oh, no, I ain't got to prove nothing to you. Why bring it up then, bitch? What's the point? Anyway, so 4 degrees now. I got 4 degrees. I'm carrying student debt from 4 degrees, right? So now it's time to go out and get a job, right? Now it's time to be somebody. Should I go into real estate? Should I go into stocks and bonds? What should I go into, right? Can I be some kind of a captain in the industry? Because even if you just got out of college and went and got a job in a factory, some goddamn where, girl, if you got into middle management or something like that, you just got a decent job, girl, you'll be ready for retirement at this point, girl. That's just working on a regular jobs. So you keep saying that I got a job. This thing working for people is not necessarily the best way to go, Jay Wilson. Particularly not, in my opinion, for Black people. Most of the successful Black people that I've ever encountered or ever experienced in life have been entrepreneurs. You got to do something on your own, right? So for you at 55, you come here talking about you working, though there's no evidence of you working any goddamn where, girl. You shouldn't be working, bitch. You ought to have your own goddamn business by now, because while you were on here getting degree 1, 2, 3, 4, all the people who graduated in your initial college, girl, they out there providing for their families. They already got a hail. When they had a baby, they got a house, girl. That's why they got the house, because they have a baby, right? And they want to have 2 or 3 children. They want to raise a family. So what? They go and buy themselves a house, right? You delayed that, girl, till you were 50 years old. 50 years old to come out the closet, 50 years old to buy a house. What the fuck are you doing, girl? You've been sitting up here in these schools for all this time, but we are only on degree number 4. So what's next after 4 degrees? You would think it's time to get off the toilet, nigga. No. I'm gonna get another one. Now I got 5 degrees. 5 degrees, and you're driving the Uber cab. What are you bragging about? I'm working. You're working for somebody else, girl. Whenever you've had 5 jobs since you've been on here, and those are only the 5 that we know about, right? So I think it's a goddamn shame if you've gotten to be this age, girl, and you cannot tell us about one single legitimate career. You've never had a career. You've had jobs. You've had jobs, girl. Jobs that last 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, right? Right? And you always lie about it. What's with all the lies, girl? And now we find out that you are also a scam artist. So we don't know why you're going on a cruise when you're supposed to be looking for a job. We don't know why you went to Atlanta when you're supposed to be looking for a job. We don't know why you're going to trips to Las Vegas when you're supposed to be getting a job, girl. Right? How could you be planning all these trips and you're supposed to be looking for a job, girl? We saw you lose the other one. The other boy is posting all your information online, child. If they got your real name, they know where you live, Jay Wilson. But see, that's why he don't want people like me asking them no damn questions, right? He wants to ask everybody else questions about their relationships, about their children, about their education, about their time in prison, about their drug addiction 20 and 30 years ago, right? You have all this talk. And then you want to say that nobody should bring anything to YouTube, right? So you are the moderator of YouTube. You're going to decide what we talk about. It's your YouTube. On YouTube. You said it's on YouTube. Girl, she talking about YouTube like she's a representative of YouTube, girl. We talk about what the fuck I want to talk about, bitch. Mm-hmm. Let me catch up a little bit. Mm-hmm. As a person with a higher education, not once have I down someone. Jay Wilson can't say that. Jay Wilson looks down on folks who don't have higher education. Yeah, but he abused the higher education system, girl. He didn't become educated for any reason. And I don't know that he is all the educated, because he doesn't seem to be an educated person. Most of his arguments are like high school level. I mean, when he calls himself reading somebody, he's talking about their teeth. Huh? That's what he's talking about. He talking about he saw a sock on the floor. That's what that's his reading with 5 damn degrees, girl. I think this boy, because if you read that pitiful pamphlet he wrote, where the first chapter is 1 page, and in that 1 page, he's got 27 errors in the first paragraph. In other words, when people started talking about that pamphlet, they didn't make it past the first paragraph, right? Because if they had read the entire pamphlet, they would have told you he's got 365 errors in the pamphlet, right? No, they didn't make it past the first paragraph. Because me personally, if I pick up a book and it's got 27 errors in the first paragraph, I'm not going to finish it. I'm not going to strain my eyes or my senses trying to get through a book with that many errors in it, right? I'm just saying. Okay, there goes the chain of thought again. Mm-hmm. He tried to tell people how to get in college. Tell you how to rip off the damn school. And even if Biden's able to get this $10,000 for the people, be quiet. Even if Biden is able to get, what is 10,000 going to do to your debt, Jay Wilson? Right? What is it going to do to your debt, girl? Whatever that chain of thought was going. Baby, what is there an issue? What's the problem? You guys going to sit there and barking? What is the issue? Say hello to people. Hey, how you doing, people? What you doing? What you doing with my daddy? Give me my daddy back. I'll get you a nice sandwich when I get through, okay? If you stop barking. If you be good, I'll get you a nice sandwich. Multiple degrees of nothing else. End up as teachers. He can't be no damn teacher. He came on here and said he was a dean of a school. Then we found out the school is an online school. I don't know how much counseling you can do from online. But he said it laid him off. That's how he came on YouTube, right? I lost a job. I didn't get no unemployment. I didn't get. You were really the smart person. I didn't get no unemployment. I went and got me an Uber. Girl, if you got laid off, Jay Wilson, right? And then COVID hit right after you got laid off, weren't they hiring for online positions more than even before that? Because all the students had to get their education online then. So shouldn't that been a major call for teachers and administrators online? But no one would hire you, Jay Wilson, right? It's just like that's the story of your life. You cannot keep a job. You bring nothing to the companies or the organizations that you apply to. You said you had the job at the prep people, and you were helping the community, and this was your contribution to you didn't give a fuck about no community. You went in there and got a position where you can go and claim you had degrees. They would hire you, and then you would sit your ass on YouTube and try to double dip, and they caught you. How can he possibly be working for us when he's online 4 and 5 times a day? We have checked the records. He's been charging us for all the time that he's online. You've never been able to accomplish anything, Jay Wilson. Your biggest accomplishment in your life is I got to hell. You had to go all the way to San Antonio, Texas to do that, girl. You stopped working last year, Eugenia, trying to get disability. Are you of age? You get your Social Security too. Of course, disability is better because you get more money. Ain't nobody trying to work for the rest of their damn life, child. People get sick of working, nigga. You bragging about, I got a job. How you gonna worry about you get a job? You 55 years old, nigga. You're supposed to be getting out of the job now. This is the time where you plan for your exit from the working force, girl. You're not a senator. You're not somebody that's got some highfalutin job where they actually need your ass there. All you ever been able to have is a job. But if you retire from these jobs, girl, it'd be retirement with 6 months of work, 4 months of work. How can you retire from a company and you ain't worked there but 5 or 6 months? Because that's all you can do, girl. If you had better jobs since you were in your 20s when you worked for the airline, then you would be bragging about the other jobs. But they never existed, girl. You've never been able to get past the entry-level position. And even right now, if you were to get your fat, funky ass out there and get another job, you would be coming in, assuming that somebody wants a 55-year-old bitch for entry-level position. If you did get one, girl, you will be coming in at the entry level, right? You couldn't stay in anything that you've ever done because they've always fired you, right? So it's always very limited as to how you had to prepare your resume. You got to fill in a lot of blank spaces, girl. And now you got your ass hooked on YouTube, and you think that YouTube is going to be your salvation, right? But YouTube is flighty, honey. They can close this bitch down at any moment. You see Elon Musk just bought Twitter, fired all the damn people at the top positions, girl. This shit could flip at any second. People get tired of hearing the same voices. Some new people will come along, more interesting people. People will get sick of hearing, you know, how this beef sector is always the same shit, same thing over and over and over again, right? They love it for right now, but eventually they'll get sick of hearing it, right? And they'll go and find somebody new. Jay Wilson, this ain't no damn job security. And you question somebody about their medical. He even had comments about people's medical. Nigga, I haven't paid a medical bill, girl, in 30 years. I've not paid not $1. Now, you're going to convince me that that's a bad thing, right? The whole goddamn country is fighting, at least black people who are advocates are fighting for affordable housing in all these cities, right? You turn that's a bad thing. Oh, it's affordable housing. It's affordable housing. Nigga. Jay Wilson, why don't you just shut up about shit you don't know nothing about, girl? Ain't nothing wrong with having Medicare. Ain't nothing wrong with having Medi-Cal. It saves us thousands of dollars, girl. I can't even imagine having to pay for the medications that I take. And that's a bad thing. He says, they pay your rent. They pay you. I'm supposed to say, oh my God, they're paying my rent. That's a bad thing in your mind, girl. You're constantly trying to make somebody feel bad about their situation instead of getting your own ass together, nigga. Right? You need to get your own ass together, Jay Wilson. You're supposed to be retiring now. Ain't even started. He got unemployment this time. It's probably what he's living on now. Dumbass thought he was bragging about that girl. I think that nigga in that trailer was probably beating the shit out of him. Telling him, no, public assistant, cause of where they came from. Public assistant. He probably beat the shit out of him, girl. So he actually believed that's a horrible thing. You want to laugh and suck shit, girl? A whole lot of people would love to have some Section 8, girl. When they start hitting that ass with that $3,000 a month, then you will want you had some goddamn Section 8. Uh-huh. Oh, that's bad. Oh, that's bad. What are you, an advocate for the government or something? You trying to help them? I'm a taxpayer. And that's supposed to get my dick hard or something? The stupid boy. In this desperate effort to try to make somebody else feel bad about their lives. It is pathetic. It's pitiful. Claiming you a pastor. Oh, I never said pastor. I never said pastor. I said pastor. That's my pen name is pastor. I never said it. You're a goddamn lie, nigga. They forced you into pastor. You came on as pastor. Just like you came on with fucked up grill. All you gotta do is look at the first video he made, girl. Now she's the connoisseur of teeth. Pamela, don't rub it in, girl. Yes, you're telling the truth. If you aren't already established on a job at his age, it's over. Entry level, girl. Anybody training no old bitches? How long? Your health is going to start failing next year. They got to pay for your goddamn health insurance, girl. You don't even have no health insurance, Gambit, because because YouTube ain't got no health insurance. I know Uber ain't got no health insurance. You ain't even got none, girl. So every time you go to the doctor, it's $350. Don't you think you should have that in place already? They're not going to be taking, honey, any elderly person. All you do is use your search engine. It will tell you that they have had a very difficult time getting a job after 50 years old because the people don't want to invest the time in training you. The people know that you're not going to be there for very long. You're eligible for retirement in just a few years. Don't depend on YouTube as your answer. People will get sick of looking at you. They will get sick of looking at me, and they will get sick of looking at you. This is not a lifetime plan, Jay Wilson, right? So we're very glad that you're able to come on here and talk about you getting a coin from it. You're getting a coin from it, girl, all this kind of shit. You see how the great exodus is in your Cash Apps came after they busted you with your Cash App Palousas, right? They never really came back, and you wouldn't immediately saying, you don't need the cash app. I don't need the cash app. I got my commercials. I got my commercials. Girls, the desperation is so sickening, Jay Wilson. I hope you're not over there tormenting that boy with your braggadocious personality about all this. You're gonna get a coin from it. You're gonna get a coin from it. He said, well, nigga, if you're gonna get a coin from it, could you pay for the lunch this time? Right? Because he's so tight and cheap, girl. He say he don't give nobody nothing. An old man don't pay the check. No, you the old bitch, honey. You better pick up the check. Unemployed man. Over there giving that advice. Got advice for every damn body. Ain't no way in hell I'm going to be telling some woman about how to raise her children. And I ain't never even raised a cat. What else is going on? Let me see. He thinks he's okay. Tell, wait a minute. Let me go back and get some conversation. Student loans are because you can't afford to pay for the classes, which is fine, but it's government assistance. It is government assistance. What does he think it is? So all the talk he talked about government assistance, he is the primary example of someone who's been given government assistance probably since he left high school. He's been getting government assistance, and he's been dodging paying the people back, right? You know he's dodging. He's using every loophole he can come up with, honey, to avoid paying those people back their money. It's all public assistance, Jay Wilson. You've been on public assistance a whole lot longer than I have, girl. And let's see if you refuse your Social Security when the time comes, nigga, since you don't need it. It's government assistance. You're right. Well, tales of a high girl, we are definitely in agreement there. That is definitely public assistance, and he been living on it. Who else will want to celebrate and get 5 degrees, girl? Wouldn't you be bored after a couple of years? No. People, they can't wait to get out of school. They can apply their trades, honey. No, he won't stay in school and get them government assistance. And he convinced himself that getting a house was the ultimate dream. Well, maybe that is for somebody. Somebody got a family support. Most of them ain't got to do all these stunts. Yours, Jay Wilson, to stay in there, girl. And if they live in any kind of city, they probably paying more rent than you paying for that house. So I don't know why that makes you a rich person. No, it makes you a San Antonio resident, nigga. Just like most people, they live in a house. When I was growing up in Indiana, everybody had a house. Hell, I didn't know no adults, no grown people who lived in an apartment. That was the economy of that particular city, honey. Everybody had a house, girl, unless they were a student. Higher education with 30-year mortgage at 50. When you gonna get all this equity, Jay Wilson? You're gonna be 90 years old, bitch. They're gonna be pushing you around. I got the equity. I got the equity. After you paid off your mortgage 1 and mortgage 2, girl. Is that when you start kicking in with the equity? Girl, you don't get that. You don't become rich in San Antonio on a damn house, girl. You might be able to pull that off in New York City somewhere, California, girl. Where you buy your house for something. You got to stay in them houses. Now I know people buy their houses when they're in their 20s, 30s. And when they get to be your age, bitch, they sell them and it's all equity. But the house that they bought for $50,000 is worth $500,000, girl. Or in here, it'd be worth $1 million. Some of these ramshackle pieces of shit they sell here for $1 million, girl. Those people became rich. Why? Because they bought their homes when they were dirt cheap, when they were young. Right? I'm not gonna get no 30-year mortgage, girl. I'm 50 years old. I want out of my mortgage now. Like I said over and over and over again. The ideal thing is when you reach the time when you're able to draw Social Security, you want to be in a house that is paid for. Because Social Security alone is not going to do it. Right? But if you have no mortgage, That's the ideal plan, Jay Wilson. You went and got in that damn track house, which they was easy to get, $300,000, one of the cheapest market areas in America. But you got in there, and then what was it? 3 months later, you fired again, right? You might have qualified for the loan when you got in there. You do not qualify for the loan now, right? First of all, you don't have a job. If you go in there talking about your YouTube earnings, they'll laugh you out of the bank. You got in there and you immediately started having financial crisis. I remember like it was yesterday. I just keep on putting in the application. I got an interview with the Greyhound. I'm gonna get I'm gonna get a job with the Greyhound. You were willing to drive a bus around the country, girl, to stay in that house. Mm-hmm. We moved his microphone. I had to reposition my microphone because I know that bitch was gonna start yelling and screaming. Mm-hmm. Ooh, I'm over time, girl. I'm over time, baby. Well, hopefully, if some of y'all came over here from Jay Wills, we want to pull all his support. Oh, he went on live. He went on live with my deal. He tried to be nasty. He tried to be shady. Girl, I don't give a fuck about you, bitch. Somebody asked, are you going to apologize to Jay Wills? Girl, are you crazy? Girl, I wouldn't apologize to Jay Wilson if I hit his ass with a car, honey. Anyway, people, I know it's the same shit, but their lives don't change. It's the same old shit, girl. Y'all have a wonderful Halloween. I guess tonight's the big night, right? Yeah, tomorrow's Halloween. And so you guys hope you have a good Halloween party or whatever you're going to do. Talk to you later. I got this hail.